Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes. Hi, folks.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the first ever episode of the Hooligans here on A2D Radio. I am Kyle, coming at you live with the best stuff in the town. Here with my co-host, Rob Abrams. How you doing, Rob?
What's up, man? What's going on?
Hey, I'm just chilling. I'm happy to be here, happy to join the A2D family, and I'm here ready to go. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is LeBron James coming to Philadelphia. What are your thoughts on him potentially joining the family of the Philadelphia Sixers franchise?
Well, I think if LeBron goes to the Sixers, I think it's guaranteed, he's NBA Finals appearance. I don't know if it would be enough to beat the Warriors, but I like this Sixers team and the core around LeBron James saying if he were to be on the Sixers a lot more than I like the Cleveland Cavaliers core around him that is currently right now. I think it would be the missing piece, definitely in the long run. We'll see, about the short run, but I think he's the missing piece, but it doesn't mean we're going to get him. My confidence is not really high in getting him right now, as it same can be said for the last couple months, but I think that LeBron would be the missing piece. Then you have Simmons. He can play the point. You'd have Markelle Fultz fully healthy, being the shooting guard, and those guys being in their natural positions. You have Embiid as the center and Saric as the power forward. That's a perfect all-cast starting five with one of the better benches in the NBA.
Definitely.
So I think that LeBron would definitely be the missing piece. If not NBA draft, we can groom around more guys. We can, put some more guys together and see what we can do. But right now, the Sixers got to be all in on him because it's just have a chance to get a guy like that. You got to try to get all in on him.
No, I agree with you 100%. You not only do you have to try to go get him, but you have to go get him and another piece. Because if you only get LeBron James with a Ben Simmons, who, in my opinion, I don't know if he'll ever find a shot. Now, I know me saying that's not the best thing, but Ben Simmons just looks scared to shoot from 5 feet away. And with your star point guard, you have to make sure that he practices his jump shot over the summer, or else this team is going to get bounced in the second round just like they did last year. With LeBron James or not, it's tough because the Boston Celtics are just going to get better with Kyrie coming back, Gordon Hayward coming back, Rozier being put into the lineup, Tatum. Talking about Tatum, that Fultz pick just looks horrible. It looks absolutely god-awful. And, I just hope everything turns out, but LeBron James coming to Philly, it's looking a little iffy right now.
See the report the other day with how he's checking out the Houston area?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty scary right there.
It's not scary to us, but...
Well, to us, but, I mean, it doesn't look too good when you see reports like that coming out.
No, not at all. And, it sucks, but what are you going to do? That's the pivotal part of the process because either you're going to put all your chips in the middle and you're going to come out a winner, or you're going to put your chips in the middle and come out a loser, like in poker.
Yeah.
And I don't know yet. Brian Colangelo with the fucked up shit he did on Twitter. Okay, let's not talk about. I don't want to talk about that.
I don't want to talk about it either.
But honestly, it wasn't it fucked. It was really fucked.
It
up.
was fucked up.
It was horrible.
And you know what? They couldn't move forward with him either because now it's all out there that you're going to put a guy like that back there who said what he said and expect the players are going to trust this guy and expect everybody's going to trust this guy. It wasn't happening. So they had to move on from him.
Yeah.
There would have been a bunch of tension in there moving forward, and I don't think the result would have been too good. So
yeah, no, he's a huge piece of shit, and I hope he never gets a job in the NBA ever again.
So do I.
And for him to didn't he blame it on his wife?
They're saying it was his wife that made those. That did what she did.
Yeah.
But we'll probably never know the answer behind it.
Yeah, no, probably
the true story behind it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Sam Hinkie is the one that brought this team together, and
he's the one that started this.
Yeah, exactly. Now, would I bring him back? No, but at the same time, you got to give him credit for tearing the team apart, which absolutely was.
Yeah.
We needed to do that because we would have been in the stage of mediocrity. It's just it sucks because the whole Brian Colangelo situation may have turned things because I thought LeBron was a guarantee to come here. Now I think he might go to the Lakers because of that cast that they have. You bring Paul George there, you bring Kawhi Leonard, who absolutely fucking hates the San Antonio Spurs. He hates
He
it
don't
out
want
there.
to be there.
No, and he has every right to because
And plus, their time's up. Like their window of opportunity for another NBA title is closing, if not shut. Didn't they get swept in the first round this year?
San Antonio.
Yeah.
They played Golden State.
And they got swept?
Yeah, they got swept.
Their window of opportunity
Yeah.
is shut. They're not going to win any more titles, especially with, was it Parker no longer there or one of those guys, Duncan?
No, Parker's old. Duncan got retired.
Tim Duncan retired then. Okay,
Duncan
they're
retired.
not going to go back to the pedestal that they
They're done.
once were 5 years ago,
They're
winning
done.
titles, beating LeBron and the Miami Heat. They're not.
No,
they're done.
All right, and you compare the two cities, all right? You got San Antonio. What the fuck is out there? There's nothing out
Nothing.
there. All
There's
you see is the
nothing out
fucking
there.
geese in the lake or river.
Yeah.
When you go to the Los Angeles Lakers, sure you have a bunch of traffic or it's going to suck, but
And
you don't have
smog.
to drive anyway. Yeah, a bunch of smog and
But-
fucking humidity, but, the Lakers, you got if you go to Los Angeles, you got everything. You got Rodeo Drive. You could drive up to Malibu, have a nice fucking party up there with a bunch of rich people, chicks, you name it. I mean, the scene is ridiculous.
Hollywood.
So, yeah, Hollywood, exactly. If you bring Paul George there, if you bring Kawhi Leonard there, you already have Lonzo Ball, who's one of the best solicitators in the game. That would be a fucking scary team. Would they beat Golden
They would.
State? No.
Probably not. No.
No. And that's another thing I want
Now,
to
if
bring
he joins Houston, they would beat Golden State. I think they would.
You know what? I fucking hate Golden State with a passion.
So do I.
It's not because of the whole Kevin Durant thing. I hate Kevin Durant. He's a snake. But it's not because of Kevin Durant. I just don't like the way they play pussy ball. Going up to the NBA your whole life, you dream of playing the game. You make your body progress to the level to where you could body up somebody in the post. Okay? These guys just throw up threes, throw up threes, throw up threes. They don't drive to the rim. And if they ever drive to the rim, they either get a simple layup or they pass it off to someone who's already wide open in the center. That's all they do.
Yeah.
Because it is literally impossible to guard this team from the perimeter. They have way too many shooters, and they don't have to do anything. They have to do literally nothing. Like, if you saw that last series, the finals, I thought that series was going to end in 2. like honestly, I didn't even want it to go 4 games. I didn't want to watch the series.
I stopped watching after the third game.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't even watch that last
It was
one.
a horrific fucking series. It was one of the worst series I've ever seen in any sports. Whatever you want to name it, like it was awful. Like it made, what did it make? It made arena football watchable. That's exactly what it did. It made arena football
I don't know,
watchable.
man. Them Philadelphia Soul games
Oh,
seem pretty
God.
lit.
Oh my god!
Watching some of them on TV, I was like, damn, they look pretty lit.
Yeah, man. I mean,
But
at that championship, man,
I'd rather watch that than watch those fucking NBA Finals games, to be honest with you.
that arena football championship was so lit. People
Yeah.
couldn't wait to get to Xfinity Live to watch the Floyd Mayweather fight. I still
Oh,
remember
that was the night he fought Conor McGregor.
Yeah,
Wow.
the boxing match.
Shit.
It was sold out, and I think when the Philadelphia Soul were having their championship game in the Wells Fargo Center, I don't know how that happens, but I think there was about 1,000 people there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal, and they won against 4 other teams. Yeah, I don't know what they're trying to do in arena football, but that's besides the point. But LeBron coming to Philadelphia, guys, I'm gonna say it's not happening. I'm not a believer. I just think my life as a Philadelphia sports fan is pretty much riding on the Philadelphia Eagles championship right now. Nothing else. We'll see what happens though. You know,
I don't see it happening either. I'd love to see it happen, but right now I just don't see it.
no, I just don't. And it's a shame because I love LeBron James. He's my favorite player. He's all time. It's him and Allen Iverson, and everyone else. You know, MJ. You could say he's better. I don't think he was better. I mean, Tom, our producer, might have a different opinion on that, but I just don't. I don't think he's better than LeBron overall. I just don't.
And I think Markelle Fultz, that injury, he was obviously playing hurt all year. He was, I think he tried to get a different shot. He tried to and he fucked his shoulder all up trying to shoot a different kind of way or something.
Yep.
I think if you give him a whole offseason, if you give him a whole, a better route moving forward into this season, into year 2. I think eventually he's going to be a good player. It's way too early after 1 year of being hurt, his rookie year of being hurt, to really judge off what kind of NBA player he's going to turn into. A lot of these guys don't even really develop until year 3, year 4, year 5.
Yeah.
LeBron James didn't really develop into who he is and really start showing spurts of a really, really talented, generational type talent until what, year 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, year 4.
Year 4 where he got swept in the finals.
Now, the year before that, I think they made they were in the Eastern Conference Finals, I think.
Really?
Didn't Boston beat him or something?
Boston always beat LeBron back then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't even funny.
Well, I know the 1 year. Oh, no, Detroit beat him. There it was. Okay.
Yeah,
Detroit
okay.
beat him. And
Yep.
then the following year, they played Detroit in the Eastern Conference Finals and beat them.
Right.
Then they got to the NBA Finals and got swept.
Got swept out the building, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
It just sucks because LeBron James, like I said, he's my favorite player, but he's 3-6 in the finals. He's just like Messi is in soccer. Like, I know nobody in America watches soccer, but Messi and Ronaldo, 2 best players, and Ronaldo's better because he always wins. It's just how it is, And a lot of people see that with MJ. I think LeBron is the better player, but MJ is the winner. So if you put that together,
If LeBron had the team that, I really want to see how LeBron would do if he had guys like Scottie Pippen around him, if he had Dennis Rodman around him.
Yeah.
I think if he comes to Philadelphia, he would see what he'd have around him, but LeBron's never played alongside a guy like Joel Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's really ever played along a guy like Ben Simmons.
Right.
I think the best player, I think that one of the better players, it'd be Dwayne Wade or Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
And Kyrie Irving, we all know how that ended, and then Dwayne Wade. So, but LeBron's never had a big 7-foot fucking one guy he can just pass to in his career.
No, and go back to Kyrie Irving. I mean, I think he has some of the sickest handles I've ever seen on any basketball player.
Yeah.
But his defense is so shitty. Like, I mean, you could literally put a cardboard poster literally right in front of somebody, and that's Kyrie Irving. His defense sucks. It's like James Harden's defense. They don't even try. It's just, I don't know. I can't trust players like that. And honestly, they said Kyrie Irving might go to the Knicks now. So if he wanted to team back up with Kyrie Irving and go to the fucking Knicks, that would shock everybody.
Is that dude's head all there?
Kyrie?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
doesn't he think the Earth's flat or some crazy shit like that?
Nah, I think he was just pissed off being in the shadow of LeBron because LeBron's probably.
Well, that's why he wanted out.
Yeah.
We kind of figured that out once it got out, but
yeah.
They said once LeBron, if he won, he was getting all the credit, and then if LeBron lost and the Cavaliers lost, everybody else got all the blame. That's probably why Kyrie wanted out.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it, but at the same time, it is a business, and I don't. That dude's head is definitely not on straight, man. Like Kyrie Irving, you're in a really good situation. Just shut up and play the fucking game of basketball. Yeah. It's really that simple. And, that's literally all I got to say about the LeBron James situation because it's just going to make me more upset to think that we may not ever get a chance to see him in a Sixers uniform. And it just sucks. But you have that team over there called the Los Angeles Lakers that has 17 titles, and I could see him going there because of their rich history, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But, again, we'll see what happens. And,
They don't get him, really. It is what it is.
Now, let's go to a better point. Well, better topic at hand. The Eagles got their championship rings this week. Pretty awesome, right?
Awesome.
Yeah. It's self-explanatory, I was on cloud 9 up until I saw that championship ring. When I saw that championship ring and I saw the Foles MVP championship ring, I was like, we finally fucking did it. And that thing is crystal. That thing is clean.
Yeah.
There's no dust on that whatsoever.
Like some of Nick's throws during that game.
Oh, yeah, clean. A bunch of Cowboys fans are like, yeah, your ring's nice, but we got 5 of them. Yeah, take those fucking 5 rings, shove them so far up your ass that they get darker than they already are.
I saw them Super Bowl rings. They all looked like old. You can clearly see that the metal in them was like all fucking old and shit. They looked like copper if they fucking grinded some copper and made a fucking ring out of it.
Shitty-ass penny copper. Yeah, they look older than my fucking grandpa, and he's dead. It's fucking disgusting. But I don't know, man. It's just it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing that we finally get a championship in the city of Philadelphia when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles. Other than that, we'll see what happens this year. You
Yeah.
know, but they play Atlanta on opening night. You know, I'm putting a sizable wager because they just opened up the sports book down at AC and Monmouth Park. I'm probably going to I don't know. I'm going to pick the Eagles money line, not the spread, because I don't trust the spreads. It's 5 right now, and I think they could win by a field goal, and that would pretty much fuck me out of
Well,
the
they
bet.
won by 5 in the playoff game this past year.
Yeah.
So if they win by 5 again, I don't know. But here's something that I thought about this the other day. I was playing Madden the other day, right? Last night,
Yeah.
right? I was playing Madden last night,
Yeah.
right? And I'm thinking to myself, do we got Alshon Jeffrey, you got Aguilar, you got
Yeah.
Matt Collins, and we got Mike Wallace on the other side, who's a better receiver than Torrey Smith because Mike Wallace has always had hands dating back to his days at Pittsburgh.
Right.
He's always had hands. I mean, obviously he's closer to retirement now than he is the other side of his career than
Right.
at the beginning of his career. So he's a veteran. He's going to be open a lot more with Alshon garnering all the attention on one side, and now teams are going to start game planning on how to stop Zach Ertz as well, because now Zach Ertz is becoming a problem for other teams to try to stop.
Yeah.
And now Mike Wallace is going to be wide open, and he's going to catch the ball. I think his stats will be a lot higher than Torrey Smith's were last year, and I think we're going to get a lot more production out of that side of the field from receivers. And we got Dallas Goedert on the other side of Zach Ertz as a tight end. What the fuck? How are opposing defenses going to stop this?
Well, you just nailed it right on the head. We pretty much got Deshaun Jackson back. You know,
Yeah.
Mike Wallace is a burner. I know that Torrey Smith used to be a burner, but he slowed down. Now, granted, Torrey Smith was very good for us in the playoffs. He was clutch.
Well, that's why I got nothing bad to say about Torrey Smith, because Torrey Smith made a lot of big catches for the Eagles in the postseason.
Yeah, he did. And
Damn,
you
I could
know,
have brought my water in.
yeah, no, it's
Fuck.
all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
But no, he had some terrific catches, and you know,
And he was clutch, yeah.
it was very clutch. He caught everything coming to his way. He caught it in big moments. The one at the pylon in the NFC Championship game, like that was a beautiful pass by Nick Foles, and you know, it was an even better catch by Torrey Smith. You know, you need players to step up in big moments. Him, Blunt, Foles, Alshon Jeffrey all stepped up in big moments.
Now, the thing about Blunt, I was kind of pissed to see the Eagles let him go. And I say this because for years, even when we had Deuce Staley, LaShawn McCoy, Brian Westbrook, and those guys are fucking studs at running the ball for the Eagles. You know what I always said? Eagles need a power back. They need a fucking truck that's going to fucking run people the fuck over as they're running the fucking ball.
Yeah.
We got that with LeGarrette Blount. And what happened last year? He was like, it's exactly what I said he was.
Yeah.
And he was so fucking good. It was nuts.
Yeah.
And they let him go. We got that power back. We're at the 2, we're at the 1, or we need a yard for a first down. We got LeGarrette Blount, no problem.
Yeah.
Eagles let him go. So I was kind of, I liked Blount too a lot. I was hoping maybe they'd hold on to him, but I didn't see it happening with the dire cap situation. But I like Jay Ajayi as the feature back. He was the feature back in Miami. Corey Clement as the secondary back.
Right.
As like a third down back or whatever. And he's young too. I think he'll usher into his role really well. He didn't look phased at all at any fucking point of last year, and that's just nuts.
No, not at all.
And Darren Sproles at this point, he's 34.
Darren Sproles, I think he's 34, 35.
Yes,
I'm not sure about
He's
that.
probably a situational back at this point in his career and more of a punt returner on special teams, which is good because we actually didn't have we did all this last year with not really much going in the punt return category as far as the other years. We were just killing it on special teams in the punt returning, kickoff returning category.
Now let me ask you a question. Do you think adding all of this talent back to the roster, they're getting older, by the way. Do you think adding all this talent back to the roster actually makes us worse?
No.
No?
No.
Because I feel like, you know, we got to the Super Bowl with a team that meshed. They knew exactly what they were getting into. They knew exactly how to play with each other. I think if you add a bunch of talent to one team, and we saw this with the Dream Team back in 2011, I feel like people get pissed off if they don't get the spotlight. And I don't know. I could see some of our players like Michael Bennett, who we just added, Haloti Ngata, who we just added. You know, some of those players, like, if they get pissed off, you know, they could fuck up the team.
Well, they're on short contracts, right?
Yeah.
Well, they can go if
They
there's
could
a
get
problem.
the fuck out, yeah. No, I agree with you, but I mean, you know, we just need everything to stay steady.
But Chris Long's really good friends with Michael Bennett.
Yeah.
I mean, if he went to the front office and endorsed Michael Bennett, honestly, I don't think it'll be that much of a problem. And Haloti Ngata, he's obviously another dude that's a veteran and more towards the end of his career than the start of his career. But Haloti Ngata, he's going to be a depth guy. If
Right.
Timmy Jernigan goes down or Cox goes down, and I think one of those two, if not both, missed time last year.
Right.
Cox, I think, missed one game.
Yeah.
So, he's going to have to step up, and Bo Allen was a really unsung hero last year. Because he made some plays on the defensive line.
Which game did Cox miss? Was it Carolina?
I believe it was the Carolina game.
Carolina game?
Holy shit, that Panthers game, we had Fletcher Cox out and Lane Johnson out, arguably two of the most important players we have in the trenches, and we still found a way to win that game.
Yeah, that's what told me.
And the referee and we also had the referees playing on the other team. How the fuck did we find a way to win that one? Jesus Christ.
No, and if you guys follow me on YouTube, my name on YouTube is Nitro Freak. If you guys follow me on YouTube, I had an epic rant after that game because of the referees. The referees pissed me off so bad. It was like, what was it, 10 penalties to 1?
It was like 12-1 or something, and the Panthers was like, I think it was like a half a distance to the goal penalty.
Yeah.
They committed one penalty all game. You can't convince me they only committed one.
Yeah.
I mean, that was some of the worst one-sided officiated games I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, definitely.
If we lost that game, I used to make YouTube videos too. I'm kind of retired now. I made a funny title. I said Eagles 20, final score, Eagles 28, Panthers 10, refs 13.
Yeah.
That was some of the worst officiated one-sided bullshit games I've ever
Yeah.
seen. And not the first time from Pete Morelli either.
Yeah, Pete Morelli's a fucking scumbag.
He's a
man.
fucking idiot, dude.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, refs like that shouldn't be able to ref in the
No.
NFL at all. Not even petition him to get him out of the Eagles games, but he shouldn't be reffing in the league, period. Like, how can you be so fucking blind? Shout out to Stevie Wonder. But how can you be as blind as Stevie fucking Wonder and make calls against the Eagles but not against the Carolina Panthers? That's what makes me fucking sick to my stomach, because sometimes, I love the NFL, but sometimes I think the league is so rigged to the point that these refs are just paid to do whatever the fuck they want. And it pisses me off. It really does. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how you get 10 calls to 1. Like, it was like one of the worst games of reffing I've seen ever. Like, it was horrendous.
It was awful.
Yeah.
It's not the first time out of Pete Morelli either. It was just such garbage. But, hey, Eagles found a way to win. That's all that matters. No excuses, no nothing. That's really what it was last year. So.
Yeah, and what was the game where you thought that we were actually going to win the Super Bowl? If you had to think about one. Because I had mine right in my head. Like, I was just, like, looking around the stadium, and I was like, wow, this is really fucking happening. Because every single year, it was the Arizona game. That's the game where I thought we were going to win the Super Bowl. Because that team always fucking kills us. Like, they always destroy us. And we're sitting there with a 30-point lead against this team, and I'm like, what is happening? I'm just looking around the stadium, and it's like, wow, this is actually happening. And then all of a sudden, we win the Super Bowl down the road.
I want to say the Broncos game.
Okay.
Because that one made us, 8-1, 7-1 or something.
I tell you the truth, I'll look it up right now.
And it was the 49ers game. The 49ers were struggling coming in. The Redskins game was a big win, but I don't think that was enough for me to really say, oh yeah, we're going places this year.
Right.
So
no, so you said the Broncos game?
yeah.
All right, the Broncos game was a 51-23.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. It had to be like a 30-point lead at one point because Fox cut.
Yeah, it was the
CBS cut out of it. Like, I remember it was in the third quarter, and my dad was like, yeah, I can't even watch this fucking game anymore because they cut out of it. And
they ran out of fireworks to shoot off at the end of the game. That's how many fireworks they were shooting off.
Yeah, like, all right, so you look at the game, and this is another point I want to bring up because a lot of people say, Wentz is going to make it look easy this year, all right? So, I tell you the truth, I semi-agree, all right? I love Nick Foles. Foles is my favorite QB in Eagles history because he was the first to do it. He's the first one to bring us to Lombardi, which we so desperately needed. But you look at Wentz, yes, the guy's an amazing talent. My problem is with Carson Wentz, can he stay healthy, all right? Now, I talk to you this all the time off of podcasts. I'm like, is the guy injury prone? All right. Now, you say no. I say yes because the last 3 years he had some minor injuries. But
is
then
Nick Foles injury prone?
Yes. Nick Foles is injury prone. Nick Foles is my favorite Eagles QB of all time. He is injury prone, probably more so than Carson Wentz. But Nick Foles won us our first Super Bowl in a very clutch moment when nobody thought we were going to get it done. And that's why I love the guy. But with Carson Wentz, he has to make sure that he stays healthy enough to play a full 16 games in the regular season.
He's done it before.
He's done it before, his rookie year.
A couple different times, too.
Only once.
Well, in college, but
Okay.
This is year 3 with him right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So he has to make sure he stays healthy for a full 16 games and another 3 in the playoffs. So is he going to have to change his playing style, or would you leave it the same?
I think he should become more of a pocket passer. I mean, if he wants to run around and kind of extend plays a little bit, then whatever.
Yeah.
But I think he should be more of a pocket passer. No running fucking 10, 15 yards down the field, throwing your body around like a fucking nut job.
Yeah.
You know, no fucking diving in between fucking 250-pound fucking linebackers.
Thank you.
Stay in the fucking pocket and throw the fucking ball.
Exactly.
And, you don't have to fucking do all that shit.
In that Rams game, he had all of this room to throw to whoever he wanted to. He sees a wide open lane to run, so he chooses the run. To me, that's a dumb football play. Like, I understand you're trying to do what's best for the team, but come on, dude. You're our franchise quarterback. We're doing great this year. We are the best team in the NFL, better than the Patriots. We're on track to win our first Lombardi trophy ever. And what do? You take off from the 5-yard line and run right into 2 linebackers. Like, what are you doing? Like, I mean, I love the guy, but come on, dude, fix your game, you know. And I hope you progress this year. I really do. Like, you were going to be the MVP. He was going to be the MVP last year. Like, he was. But come on, dude. Like, you got to stay healthy.
What's wrong with him? Maybe I'm missing something. The guy was going to be the MVP of the league. What did he do? What did he do wrong? Because you go by your instincts. Like, he didn't overly run the football last year.
Right.
Let's not overreact. I mean, this guy wasn't Michael Vick, who couldn't throw from the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think we're really over exaggerating. You know, a freak injury where a guy went low on him and took him out. I mean, like, you're saying he's injury prone. The injury rate in the NFL is 100%.
Right.
It's 100%. I mean, name a quarterback that hasn't got banged up and been out for a year. They all have. Every one of them, from Brady to Rodgers, they've all dealt with their injuries. You know, Brady had the ACL, right? But I mean, besides that, he's been a pretty healthy guy. Yeah, but Rodgers dealt with injuries. I mean, Breeze has dealt with injuries early on in his career. It's not like guys haven't dealt with injuries. I mean, like you said, you're getting smacked by 300-pound linemen. Your injury rate's going to be pretty high, you know, at that level. Now, you know, I just don't like I like what you said, Rob. Like, you know, extend plays in the pocket, but like I also don't want to stop the guy from using his legs 2 or 3 times a game either. You know, I just don't want to take that part away from his game. If he's a big guy. Now, the biggest thing you want him to do is avoid the hits. That's it when you're running, like slide, different things like that. You know what I mean? You know, going into the end zone in the LA game, he's just trying to make a play. He's trying to get in the end zone. That's a little different now. Like run right up the gut, you know, a play breakdown, and you take off the gut. You know, slide down. Make sure nobody takes your, you know, make sure you don't take the big hit. You know, going to the sidelines, get out of bounds. But I don't, you know, I'm not saying anything's going to be easy for guys. The NFL, nothing's easy. You know, I don't expect the guy to come out and just, you're going to throw 40 TDs like it's Madden. You know what I mean? He's going to have to, you know, work. But I don't see a cause for concern that this is going to be his career in terms of like a guy who's always banged up. You know what I mean? I'm not buying into that for a big, strong kid because he took a bad hit and tore his ACL. Everybody tears their ACL.
I mean, I just hope he
I got to
gets.
support 11, man. Somebody's got to support him here. You know what I mean?
No,
I
you
got
know-
to come in and
No,
support
like
the guy.
I support him.
I know you do.
Yeah.
I know. But Kyle wasn't.
No,
Kyle wasn't.
listen.
But we should love fucking Foles.
Listen.
We should.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Listen, I love Carson Wentz, okay? Don't get it twisted. I love Carson Wentz. But the fan base on Twitter, and I know I shouldn't overreact from Twitter, but when Nick Foles
Shouldn't. You really shouldn't.
Okay. When Nick Foles won us our first Super Bowl, everyone was like, "Well, Wentz got us there." That's not what your thought process should be. Your thought process should be the guy just won us the fucking Super Bowl. That's what it should be. It's a team sport. It's your Philadelphia Eagles. It's not one guy. Yes, he helped. Okay,
With
yes,
my
he did.
team.
But he didn't finish the job. Nick fucking Foles finished the job. Will Carson Wentz win the Super Bowl this year? We'll see. All right? Now, he's going to have a heavy task on his hands because now he has a boatload of pressure from these fans that think he's the fucking Messiah. And we'll see what happens. I just think that whenever the fan base of Philadelphia puts pressure on a player, I just think sets up for disaster. That's just what I think it happens. And it happens every fucking year. Now I'm not a Phillies fan, all right? I think you know the team I like. But the Philadelphia Phillies, they beat the Tampa Bay Rays in 2008. Literally no pressure. No pressure whatsoever that year. Nobody thought that they were going to win the World Series. All right? 2009.
Look at all the other years
Yeah.
after 08,
Yeah.
how much pressure there was to do it again.
So much pressure.
Yeah.
Like that one year where they won like 102 games, all right? You go up against Chris Carpenter. I think it was Chris Carpenter?
Yeah.
Game 5, all right? You lose 1-0 with Roy Halladay on the mound. Ryan Howard ruins his career with one single in the bat.
He was never the same ever again.
Never
after
the
that.
same, And whenever there's pressure put on these teams, nothing good happens.
And there was no pressure. Was there really any pressure to really do anything this year coming into the year with the Eagles?
No, there was none. Nobody thought we were going to win the Super Bowl this year.
I said maybe 11-5. That's enough for a wild card, 3 or 4 seed, and that wins you a playoff game. And I actually went on record saying, well, that I would call that a successful year.
Yeah.
Nobody thought they were going to win the fucking Super Bowl at the beginning of the year.
No, I said 11-5 with a first-round loss, a divisional round loss.
Yeah,
that's what I.
Playoff game win.
Yeah, and then when Carson Wentz went down, everyone was freaking out, and I was like, listen, I think this is a blessing in disguise because Nick Foles has playoff experience. He's been here before. He loves it here. He's comfortable here. He can get it done with this beautiful team we have around us. Probably the best team we've ever had all time. And it was. It was the best team we've ever had, ever. All right? So Nick Foles got the job done. He looked amazing against Minnesota, amazing against the Patriots. Atlanta, the defense played great. I'll admit that.
Defense won us that game.
Defense won us that game.
Yeah.
All right? Nick Foles showed up in the second half, but the defense did win us that game. Against,
They did just enough in that Atlanta game offensively.
Yeah. And we actually got very lucky because as much as I know Nick Foles, he does not play well in the cold. He does not. And the temperature for those games were absolutely beautiful. Wow. Besides the Atlanta game.
Wow, you're right.
Yeah.
Because he didn't look good in that Week 17 Dallas game when he started.
Yeah.
And he didn't look good in that Christmas Day game.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, he looked good against the Giants. Wasn't cold that day.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was not cold.
Oakland, it was fucking.
It was so.
freezing.
Oh my God, I was freezing.
Dude, I told you this story so many times. All right, so I go to this game. I didn't want to go to this game even for free. Like I really didn't. I went to go to Xfinity Live to
And
tailgate.
You got trashed.
I got trashed at Xfinity Live, and I was
Shout out to Danny Danko. He told me.
Yeah, and I no, I actually met Freddie Mitchell there, and he was actually with.
He's a nice guy, actually.
He was with Smitty from Barstool, and I met Freddie Mitchell, and he actually took a picture with me. He gained some weight, but it's whatever. Yeah, he took a picture with me, and I was like, yeah, man, that 4th and 26 catch was amazing. He's like, yeah, everyone tells me about that. And I was like, I wanted to say something else to him. I was like, you could have had so much potential, but ended on a high note. That's besides the point. I went into the game. All right, I swear there was fucking ice on the ground, dude. That's how cold. That's how cold it was. It was so cold. It was the worst game I've ever been to in my life. It was Christmas Eve. No, Christmas
Day.
night. Yeah, it was Christmas night, and I just had a beautiful dinner with my family.
I got sick after that game.
It was horrible.
Because I was so cold. Because I went in there. Usually, this is how I go to games. I got a T-shirt, I got a hoodie, I got a jersey over the hoodie.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
No additional jacket when it's that cold.
Yeah.
No hat, no nothing. So, like, if my sleeves were, like, up to here or whatever, up to here,
Yeah.
it was coming in all through my fucking butt. It was brutal. Especially out in that parking lot. It was, like, fucking 10 times colder than it probably was.
No, and I made sure I had 3 layers on that game, and I had this little windbreaker as my 3rd layer, and it just made everything worse.
Wow.
Like, I had beer that game, and I don't know how many times I dropped it, and, like, it was so bad, and I'm never, ever going to a game that cold ever again, unless it's the NFC Championship game. Like, there's no way.
It was cold during that Atlanta game from what I remember.
Oh, it was freezing.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, I
cold.
couldn't feel my feet. But, it was worth it. It was definitely worth it because Julio Jones drops the pass in the end zone. I don't think it would have came down with it anyway. But, a lot of people said it was a push-off, but fuck them.
Julio pushed off.
No, they said that, what was it, Mills pushed off.
He didn't even have any contact with him. Julio, he was, going up like this, and then he went up. Like, can't do that.
Yeah, no. But yeah, it was definitely an amazing season. And listen, Tom, I'm not going against Wentz whatsoever. I love Carson Wentz. You know, I have his jersey. I say it all the time. I bought the guy's jersey. I'm getting a Nick Foles Super Bowl jersey. I can't wait to
Do you
purchase
still
that.
have your white number 9 Nick Foles jersey from years ago?
I do. I actually do. I have it. It's somewhere. I just can't find it. I have it though. I just can't wait until.
Didn't you throw that around? In the
I
parking lot
was
of Killarney's?
pissed, dude. I was so pissed. Like
That
it-
looked like Killarney's parking lot. Too.
it was. It was. Maybe I should get them on the show. But I mean, yeah, I was mad, dude. Like we were playing. I think wasn't that after the Dallas
The
game?
Redskins game,
No.
when the second Redskins game
Yeah.
that eliminated the Eagles, and
Yeah.
I called out the whole team on Twitter, and somebody just dug up my fucking 4 years old fucking tweets
Yeah.
saying as if they're supposed to be relevant. But from what I remember, Lane Johnson had the worst game of his career that day to this day.
Yeah.
Fletcher Cox, worst game of his career that day to this day. Multiple different players that were on that team that are still here had the worst games of their careers that day.
No, and they quit. That was the
And and they quit on the team.
they
yeah.
quit. Like I mean, after that Dallas game, it was just over. Like I mean, like it was so like I was at that bar again. Obviously, I was watching it with this crazy ass fan next to me. It was and we actually took the lead in that game
Yeah.
against Dallas, and then we just gave it right back. And that was
I
a
know.
typical Eagles fashion. And I was like, are we ever gonna see a fucking Super Bowl in this town? And then this year was so stress free.
I know.
It just doesn't seem real.
It doesn't.
Like, I mean, every
No.
single year we have to deal with some bullshit that happens, and then we get our hopes up, and then it just drops down to, like, rock bottom.
Now, I chat with my neighbor who you met, who's a Lions fan,
Mhm.
and he's a Lions fan, and he roots for Boston sports teams
Right.
in every other sport. So he's a Lions fan, and I think the Eagles, had they had won the division that year, would have played the Lions first round.
Yeah.
And I tell him, dude, if you had gotten us in the first round instead of the Cowboys,
Yeah.
you would have won your first playoff game in 25 years because the Lions, I would have fucking. I would have probably. I have nightmares thinking at what Calvin Johnson would have done to that secondary,
Mhm.
and they had Golden Tate that year too. That would have gotten so fucking ugly. It wouldn't even been the point of fucking seeing them in the playoffs that year.
Yeah, no.
So they would not have gotten far at all. They would have gotten one and done if they had gotten there.
No,
But
I've
this, you
now
know,
I have to bring this up, all right?
Yeah.
Now, someone brought this to my attention, right? Because we had trouble with mobile QBs all the time. We can
Yeah.
never contain mobile QBs. Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, we can never contain them. All right, so say even though Seattle wasn't that great last year, do you think they would have came to Philadelphia and beat us because of the mobility
when
last year in the playoffs?
last year. Oh, last year. If Seattle made the playoffs,
If Seattle made the playoffs or
And-
Green Bay with Rodgers made the playoffs,
What came here?
yeah, do you think they would have beaten us?
no,
Because our defense wasn't built to contain mobile
because
QBs.
Seattle Sherman was out for the season. They were banged up in the secondary, and we're not going out there to play them. They're coming to Philadelphia to
Right.
play us.
I got a bunch over here if you guys want me to
I
read them
think-
off
Sure,
on
yeah, yeah,
YouTube.
sure.
Yeah.
David Roska talking hockey. We're not there, buddy. Zoe loves his
We're
hockey.
not there yet.
Rob Povey, welcome to A2D, guys.
Thanks.
Charles Moranin,
Yeah.
welcome to the A2D fam. Excited for you guys. Ryan
Yeah.
Brodo, welcome to A2D, guys. Foolish Demon, hell yeah. Let's get it. Austin C. Nitro Freak and A2D team up. Foolish Demon, I just hate the way the team acts. I think he was talking about they're too cocky and it's annoying. I think he's talking about the Warriors. Sorry, he's talking about the
okay.
Warriors.
Mhm.
Chuck says the NBA would be better without Draymond Green.
Mhm.
And they go on with the words. That was back when you were talking LeBron. Eagles 0-1. What's up, everybody? What's up, Eagles 0-1? Foolish Demon, what's up? And then Eagles 0-1 claims that I'm camera shy.
Hey, it's our
I
producer.
thought I was
Hey,
camera shy.
I mean,
TTP, I might get crucified for this. But if they want Dario instead of Fultz, that's still a done deal for me. Love him, but love Kawhi more.
Mhm.
Back to all that
Yeah.
conversation.
Okay.
Getting off to some of the Eagles. They'll play their ass off. Bennett will be good going back to how he used to play in Seattle. He'll be fresh. And Foolish Demon said that. Eagles are once they forgot about Nada.
Mhm. Everyone forgot about Nada.
Yeah, everybody forgot about Nada.
I forgot about him for a minute sitting on the couch here,
Yeah.
and he had to bring him up. I was like, oh yeah, we got Nada.
I forgot about Timmy Jernigan the other day for a second.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
that he was still here because of the injury.
Oh yeah.
Foolish Demon about Carson. He had an early surgery and looks fine now. Just got to wait and see how he responds to contact. And then he wants to know when will Wentz get cleared cleared to play.
We don't
That's
know.
that's
Yeah.
some time away.
He'll probably get cleared to play probably when training camp comes up, like full contact.
I don't think he'll be ready week 1.
Yeah, he will.
I don't think so.
Why wouldn't he?
It's a major injury.
I would agree with
9
you.
months.
I would have agreed with you a month and a half ago. I was in the same ballpark,
Mhm.
but the way I'm seeing him move around, now granted there's not contact, but you still got to step and
It's
go.
like a limited type of thing with him, and you got to be like that with a guy who just tore his ACL
Yeah.
and another ligament, and in OTAs, which is not really that big of a deal. So you give it another month, 2 months, I think he'll be ready to go for full contact.
From what his feet and
And in
his legs look
preseason-
like right now.
And
like
if we're
in the
talking
videos.
preseason, there's no way he's playing that first preseason game because when Donovan tore his ACL 10 years ago, and we have much more sophisticated technology with that shit now compared to when Donovan tore it. But when Donovan tore it in the 10 years ago, the following preseason they didn't have him play the first game. And then the fourth preseason game, no starter plays period against the Jets that fourth preseason game. So I think if he even plays in the preseason, it'll be probably the second game.
Yeah, I was thinking, second or third,
Second
right
or
around
third,
there.
and
but
even then it'd be like a series or two.
yeah, just to get the rust off. But
Yeah.
I mean, I was in that agreement though in that camp that why rush him back for week 1? But you don't have to. But from the way I'm looking at him, the way he's moving around, obviously
And Donovan in
contact,
06,
he's still moving great.
Donovan in 06 tore his ACL late in November. So we're talking Wentz's injury maybe a couple weeks after
It was in
indifference.
December, yeah.
Yeah.
Not too far off. And yes says I'm worried about a lineman falling into his leg as Carson throwing the football.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to hold our breath for a while. I
Oh,
mean, that's
yeah.
just part of
Yeah.
it, right? I mean, when you talk about your franchise guy, we're just lucky enough to have a really capable backup, right? You know what I mean? An
Yeah,
MVP
yeah.
backup, and most teams don't even have – most teams are looking for one, and we essentially have 2 that we know can win us football games.
Yeah.
So that's why I wasn't in the camp of trading Foles, going back 2 months ago because I'm like, I'm not rushing this guy back for week 1. I care about the next 10
Well,
years.
plus, I don't like the history with guys coming off ACL tears.
Yeah, the only guy who did something crazy was AP, but he's a freak. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
else, it's a year injury
But
after.
Philip Rivers, he struggled after tearing his ACL. Tom Brady struggled a little bit after tearing his ACL initially. Who else? Who other quarterbacks I'm thinking?
Didn't Peyton get a massive injury to his neck?
No, that was his neck.
That
That
was his
wasn't
neck.
his ACL. I'm talking
Yeah,
guys who have
ACL.
torn their ACL.
You got Tom Brady. You got Carson Wentz. Philip Rivers?
Yeah, Philip
Phillip
Rivers
Rivers?
struggled after he tore his.
Okay.
Brady struggled
Brees?
initially after he tore his.
Breeze?
Drew Brees struggled after he tore his ACL. Bunch of guys. Yeah, the quarterbacks. Something about the quarterbacks. You tear your ACL. A lot of guys have a history of struggling in the year after.
Well, it's all
tearing their
footwork.
ACL.
You know what I mean? And it's
yeah,
tough. So
that's
it's all
why-
plan or drive. It's either your plan or your drive leg, and either one's going to affect you in some fashion.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
the confidence of getting on it.
And that's why, like,
feeling it.
initially I was for trading Nick Foles for maybe a first or second round pick, more so a first round pick. But then once I saw the history with the quarterbacks and ACL tears, I was just like, yeah, we got to keep Nick
No,
Foles.
and that's
you
ex-
have to.
I agree with you.
That's
yeah.
exactly why I'm not as giddy as you guys when it comes to Carson Wentz. Because Carson Wentz, I loved him.
Well,
like,
that's why I want Nick Foles to remain here and be the backup here.
What do you mean giddy? What do you mean you're not giddy? How are you not giddy over that guy? You can't sit here and say you watch that guy play and it doesn't make you giddy. You were giddy week 1, 2 years ago when he went to the line against the Browns and we all heard kill, kill, kill. And if that didn't get you 6 to midnight, nothing ever will. You know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
saw a rookie say kill. We're all like, did he say kill?
Yeah.
Was that kill? Like we all got excited. Like he's so smart.
We were in the stands like 9 rows
I
from
filmed.
the field.
I filmed this whole first drive.
We heard it all. With the crowd was like super quiet when the Eagles were on the field.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, is he actually calling audibles in his first fucking
Yeah,
game?
we're like, yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
But I know.
He
I mean,
took
you're
the Eagles
basing it
right
off an
downfield.
injury. You're basing it more
no.
off an injury than I guess the player himself.
No, because this is my opinion. Like me being a Philadelphia Eagles fan, I had so many heartbreaks. Like I mean, yeah, the Super Bowl, we just won one. I want to win more. All right. So can Carson Wentz do it? Yeah, he can win 4 or 5 fucking more.
I wanna become-
He's an amazing talent.
Yeah, okay,
All right. He's
yep.
an amazing talent. We could turn into a dynasty. My problem is if he goes down again, I don't want to be so heartbroken. Like all these players, all these fans are like, oh, we're gonna have this dynasty. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. If he goes down again, there's no dynasty.
Yeah, but but listen, everything that you're worried about, I'm here to cleanse you to that.
Yeah.
Because everything you're worried about ended that night, that last pass,
Yeah.
right? The Gronk, the Hail Mary. That ended all the bullshit before.
Yeah.
It ended the heartbreak. It ended all that. And I said it leading up from weeks, I would say 5, 6 on when this looked like a really damn good football team, that, get it out of her head that, we can't and assume something bad's going to happen. Like try to be positive for once. It's hard for us to do because we're so used to something bad happening. And even when we won it, it was like, did we really win this? Yeah. But, I think we can put all that stuff in the past. Like, that something's always going to go wrong for us. Like, something really went wrong for us last year, and we had a backup go beat the greatest quarterback of all time. You know what I'm saying? So put it like this. What else can go wrong?
True.
And we beat the one of the greatest NFL dynasties of all time, and one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Like, that's how curses end, and it ended. And I think anything that happened previously, the heartbreak that we've dealt with, I think it's okay to let it go. I think it's okay to say, you know what, I'm all in on 11 because shit, Jesus must be the way. He talks about the Lord all the time. I'm not getting in the Lord and Savior shit today on A2D, but ain't nobody feet moving like that quick after surgery. There's something with that dude because even the day he got hurt, he goes, "There's a bigger plan here." And I don't know what it is. He said it the day in LA when he was on the car. I don't know what the plan is, but there's something bigger here. And Alec gave me chills that day. Like, are we gonna go win this whole damn thing? Is this how this is gonna happen? Like, our curse is gonna end? Yeah. But sorry, I'm trying to cleanse you. I'm trying to let you be like, you know what? I can trust this guy. That's all.
No, and I understand what you're trying to say, but then I look at the other teams, and I'm like, I'm a huge Flyers fan. And then the Sixers, I'm a big fan. I'm not as huge as the Flyers, but, I look at the other teams, and I'm just like, they're in a state where you just don't know exactly what's going to happen. And it's like, if you go back to the Eagles sucking, then it just, what else is left?
That's kind of how I was with the Eagles a couple years ago, 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
They were in a state of mediocrity. They were in a state of almost like flipping the script, and it was like a you don't know what's going to happen kind of thing. And plus, I think up until last year, Eagles were in the playoffs. I think it was like 3 or 4 years since they had been in the playoffs and hadn't won a playoff game in almost 10 fucking years.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We will.
This year, we're playing with house money. That's just how I see it because we just won our Super Bowl. We want to win more Super Bowls. I'm not that person anymore that's like, oh, one before I die. That fucking one happened.
Well, that happened now.
That happened, but, and I'm only 25, so,
I want to become team of the decade.
Yeah, I do
because
too.
Who else? I mean, it's. I think the Patriots are the only team that's won 2 Super Bowls in this decade.
Yeah, I want to win.
So I want to win multiple.
I want to win 5 more to get past the Dallas Cowboys. That's what I want to do. And then their fans could bring up their fucking 5 rings from, 23, 24 years ago consistently and then make a fucking fool out of themselves like they always do.
The Giants.
Yeah.
Oh, more than them.
Well, I hate I hate the Giants more than I hate the Cowboys. The Cowboys fans are just so laughable. Like if you're having a bad day, you just go talk to them and they just make you laugh for their stupidity. But if you go talk to a Giants fan could literally make you feel like shit. Like it's different. Like they're just assholes up there.
Plus they've actually we know that, dude.
Yeah.
We fucking long established that, but they've actually seen their team win in their lifetimes.
Yeah.
If their fans
Twice.
If their fans root for the Yankees, they're accustomed to winning because then they've seen the Yankees win multiple World Series titles.
Yeah.
The Rangers have been successful for a long time, or not a long time now, maybe 10 years maybe. If they're Devils fans, they've seen the Devils win at least 2 Stanley Cups,
with
maybe
Brodeur,
all 3 Stanley Cups if they're a little bit older than me.
Yeah.
So they're if you're rooting for the Giants and you're some kind of combo with the Yankees, Devils, maybe the Rangers, you're accustomed to winning.
Yeah, you're spoiled
and they're just
brat.
so arrogant about it and so obnoxious about it. Yeah. But that's how the people New Yorkers are to begin with. So
there's something in the air there.
There's definitely something in the air.
Look at the sewers.
Oh yeah,
they just come up and just fly up.
But they're accustomed to it, and that's what that is.
Right.
They're accustomed to winning, and they've seen their team win before.
No, it's like if you wave to someone in New York, they'll flip you off. Like they're fucking assholes up there.
Oh yeah.
Like they really are. They'll be like, "Get the fuck out of the road. You're not even in the road." Like I don't know. It's a different world up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like going back to what we were saying about Carson Wentz, I just hope he plays smarter. I hope he stays healthy. And Tom said, just let him run 3 to 4 times a game. I have no problem with that. Just make sure you're not running into 2 linebackers that weigh like 2 times more than you do.
Yeah.
It's just common sense and just be smart. And I don't know. Just
because with Michael Vick, and he brought up a good point about Vick earlier.
Yeah.
I liked Michael Vick, and I liked him at one point more than I liked Nick Foles. For a while, I did.
Yeah.
But see, when that 2013 season came up in Chip Kelly's first year,
Yeah.
Michael Vick wasn't even that bad. He had that one game against the Redskins. He fucking went the fuck off. The first game against the Redskins, opening day.
We started 3-5 that year, though, right?
Yeah, but then he started getting hurt after those couple games. He looked good. And he fucking fucked his hamstring all up. Then he got a concussion, and he fucked his hamstring all up again.
Yeah.
And the injuries and the not being able to slide and the running around, the running downfield, taking hits from people, that was his downfall.
Yeah.
It's a shame because he was an unbelievable talent, but he just so injury prone.
2010, honestly, he was definitely up there for the MVP. Like 2010 was.
He finished second to Tom Brady that year.
I think that was one of the best QB performance I've ever seen from a Philadelphia Eagle.
I think
that
so
year.
Too, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that Washington game.
At the time,
I was watching that Washington game. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
I was like, "Holy shit!"
That bomb to Deshaun Jackson in the beginning. I was like, "Yeah, this is gonna be a good game." But then he just he threw dimes. I think he missed 5 passes that whole game.
Yeah.
And he threw at least 35 passes.
Yeah, it was like so crazy to see what he
Madden.
was doing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And I hope the best. I really hope the best for this team. I really hope they do God's work down the road. And but like I said, Carson Wentz got to stay healthy. And
Which I think he'll do.
Yeah. I mean, I hope he does. I really do. And I do think he can. But his playing style is a little bit reckless. He's got to calm it down a little bit. He's got to be more of a pocket passer. And my problem is when he shows not last year, but the year before that when he played with DGB, that fucking bum-ass scrub. When he threw in the pocket, his long ball was so inaccurate.
Well, he was just learning.
Yeah, he was just learning, but it was so inaccurate. And I saw some of those throws last year, too. That's why I don't think he could be a pure pocket passer, like you're saying. But the run-in, I just think he can't really get away from the run because that's the way he plays. When he runs, the defenses don't know how to contain him because they don't know if he's going to throw in the run or just run 10 yards for the first down like it's nothing to him.
Yeah.
So if you take away that aspect of his game, what is he going to be left with? Just throwing with his arm. And we don't know if he could be a pure pocket passer like that, like you're saying. So there's a lot to think about when it comes to Carson Wentz. I don't really want to think about that anymore because the Eagles are still fucking Super Bowl champions. But come, what is it, September 4th, 5th?
Or something, 6th.
When they kick off, it's a new season, and I will be ready to rock and roll. Tom, are you going to be going to the game?
The opener?
Yeah.
Nah, I won't be going to the opener.
No.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'll enjoy that one from the couch.
Yeah, I'm probably going to take off the whole day and just go down there and have some fun.
I might just take off half day. We're going to see what happens.
Yeah, it's
going to be tough. I might have to take off the day after, too. But
it was a phenomenal season. It really was. And I'm not taking anything away from Carson Wentz. He had a great season, and he would have been MVP. But I just want to see the guy, play a little bit smarter, just a little bit. Moving on.
But I do agree with it, though, with the whole playing smarter, though.
Yep. I mean, he's got to. He can't run recklessly into tanks.
No.
Like, he can't do it.
You guys want to hit a break and come back with the other topics on the other side?
Yeah.
Work?
We'll come back with the Phillies bullpen, how great they are. I love the music, by the way. It's a nice touch.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Okay, and we are back here on A2D Radio, here to talk about next topic at hand. The Philadelphia Phillies are actually doing a decent job this year. They're 35-32. Most of their wins have come at home. It's actually not even close. Their road record is absolutely abysmal. And here to talk Phillies with me, again, is Rob Abrams. What do you think about the Phillies bullpen and the overall status of the team?
I think the bullpen is horrible.
Yeah.
It's just pretty self-explanatory right there. But, if you sit down and watch some of the Phillies games, you sit down and watch some of the Phillies sit down and watch a Phillies game, and you'll see that it's pretty tough to see the bullpen come into games and blow leads every fucking game and not see that the bullpen is a major fucking problem here. Like, all right, so, that series against the Nationals, you take 2 out of 3 there. Bullpen doesn't blow a game. That's a big win against a divisional rival. The game we were watching against the Mets, where Neris threw a fucking 90-mile-per-hour pitch right down the middle. I couldn't believe it was that far over the middle. Conforto's eyes must have shot out of his head when he seen
Like
that
Bugs
fucking
Bunny,
pitch.
yeah.
That fucking good like that. Like, what the fuck?
It was a fast pitch softball throw. It was
Yeah,
right over
it
the
was
plate.
awful.
Yeah, the guy behind home plate was like, "Oh my god," because he saw it going right down the plate. I'm pretty sure that guy behind the plate with no experience whatsoever could fucking hit that ball.
Probably.
That pitch was awful.
You're looking at a couple games earlier in the year that they could have won that the bullpen couldn't hold. You're looking at, I think it was, what was it? A game against the Marlins that they had in the ninth inning, the lead, and they blew that fucking game.
Yep.
It's hard to, if they win those games, they're in first place right now, and we're talking about one of the more surprising teams in the league right now. First place above Nationals, Braves, all them. Hector Neris right now has a 4.81 ERA.
Yeah.
That's your closer with a 4.81 ERA.
You don't have Ramos anymore,
Ramos has a 3.82 ERA.
so
I
not too
believe.
much better.
And then Tommy Hunter, who I think is a middle relief pitcher, his ERA is over 4. You got some different closers that are all their ERAs. I think Dominguez is the only guy they got, and he's your real setup man right there. He's the only guy they got that's got an ERA of anything better than 3. You can't, have a bullpen like that and expect to compete.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the trade market. The guy from the Athletics is on a what's his name, Blake Thielen or something. I don't remember the dude's name, but he's got 16 saves on a very mediocre Oakland Athletics team, a team that features the Mariners, who've been the most surprising team in my opinion in the MLB.
Right.
Seattle.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, big time. They're like
Even
20
with-
games over 500. That nobody saw that coming.
Without Robbie Cano too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Houston Astros are right behind them. They are right now the wild card team. They're the defending world champion.
And they're winning right now.
And they're winning. They're good. And then the Angels are right in front of the Athletics. So I think that his name's Blake Treelman or something.
Blake Treelman.
Blake Treelman. Okay, there it is. Yeah, he's got 16 saves and an ERA of I think 0.92.
Okay. Well, as it stands right now,
I'd make a splash for him. I'd look at Hunter Strickland on the Giants. I'd look at that Vasquez dude on the Pirates. They got to make a play at the trade deadline for a closer. I mean, if you're playing 500 ball right now and this is a clear issue and the second wild card spot's only a couple games in front of you, it's pretty obvious what you got to do come trade deadline. And it's not going to cost that much to get a closer like that.
all right. Well, so if I were you, as I'm looking at it right now, the Phillies are 35-32. They're 4 games back of the Atlanta Braves. Okay.
Yeah.
So the record differential from home to away is abysmal. It's 22-12 at home, and they're 13-20 on the road, which means you gotta go out there and find somebody that could throw on the road. Like you can't just you have to dig deep into your bag of tricks.
Think of the Nationals game that they had in the 9th inning blown.
Yeah.
That's 14-19 on the road. The 2 games the one against Atlanta and Cincinnati that they blew on in the 9th inning. Okay, that's 16-17 on the road.
Yeah.
That's not bad. And then the other games they blew, that's obviously it's the bullpen right here.
But I mean that away record just like it sticks out to me. If you could trim that up just a little bit, and then find some players that could play on the road, and it seems like everyone could play at home because that's their comfort zone. But if you could find some players that don't perform like scared little bitches, I mean, I'm sorry to say that, but if you can't play on the road, if you're that less talented on the road that you are at home, there's a problem there.
Yeah.
And that's not just managing. That's
It's
everything.
Not, no.
It's
I said make a play at Cole Hamels at the deadline because you look at that record right there.
bad. Yeah.
That there's no way he's going to want to stay there and say, oh, yeah, I think I can win a title here.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know right now. And you know what, Pivetta, they've gotten some really good starts out of Nick Pivetta.
Yeah.
They've gotten some really good starts out of Vince Velasquez.
Mhm.
So I don't know right now, but Eflin's Eflin. He's been very inconsistent his whole career at this point. But fifth starter, I'm not going to complain if he's the fifth best guy we got.
Okay.
So, and then, Jesus Christ, the Mets are 10 games under. What the fuck?
My prediction.
They're bad.
My prediction was way off. I had the Mets winning like 89 games.
I had the Mets.
A lot more than
I
that.
had the Mets at 80 wins.
80 wins. I had the Phillies at 85 wins. No, 89 wins.
I had them at 85.
Yeah.
And which that still could happen.
It's doable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's doable if Gabe Kapler manages correctly, but I mean, he's hit or miss too. I mean, at the beginning of the year, the one game in, everyone's booing him, and now he's just like trying to put together what
He
he can.
fucked that opening game up
Yeah, I
too
know, I
with the
know.
bullpen. The Phillies could have won that game up.
Yeah.
These are when you're fucking this many games up like this.
Yeah.
The bullpen, they add up.
It's true.
And they add up in the standings too. But Kapler, honestly, I mean, he's learning as he's going. He's coming from a front office role. I can't get mad at the guy after 1 year, half a fucking month into the year, in his first year of being a manager, especially when he's learning. I'll give him a couple years, and then we'll talk.
He looks more ready to play than some of your players.
He does.
Like Gabe Kapler looks like he just step up into the lineup and play more than. What's that first baseman you guys have that you guys?
Santana.
Oh, not Santana. What's his name? Tommy Joseph.
Oh yeah, Tommy Joseph.
Yeah, he's
He's not on the Phillies no more.
He's not.
No,
I don't
he's
really
not.
follow the Phillies.
But the dude, he fit right into the category of the losing players they were never going to win with.
Yeah.
Freddie Galvis, Cameron Rupp,
Ugh.
and Tommy Joseph. The three of them, they were never going to win anything with them
No,
there.
not at all.
They were mediocre as hell. And you had last year, you had a better hitter in Reese Hoskins in AAA breathing down your neck.
Yeah, Reese Hoskins, he fell off a little bit.
He was hurt though.
Yeah, he has like a 235 this year, batting average. He's good. He's very good. I'm not gonna take that anything away from the guy, but you would like to see the average spiked up a little bit more than that.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah. But Dubal Herrera dropped a little bit. Freddie Galvis is on San Diego.
He, I think, a 240 lifetime hitter.
240.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, and you like your boy Maikel Franco. He's just I don't know. Like I mean, my friend Cheyenne likes Maikel Franco. Shout out, but I don't know.
I gotta see Franco for longer because he's got other sluggers in the lineup.
Yeah.
And the pressure's off of him to be the number one team slugger,
Right.
to be like the next Ryan Howard, to be the next Mike Schmidt, to be the next Jim Thome. The
Yeah.
pressure's off of him to perform like that. But I gotta see him, with no pressure, see how long it takes. But right now, that's not looking good.
No.
So.
No, not at all. That's pretty much all we got to say about the Philadelphia Phillies. I mean, they're pretty much self-explanatory. You're playing with house money. You didn't really expect them to do anything this year, and if they go to the playoffs, that's a bonus. And we'll see we'll see exactly what happens there. I'm rooting for you guys. I really hope you guys do well. We're going to the game on
The Monday?
the Monday. We're going to
Yeah.
June 25th. Yankees Phillies will be pretty nice seats. Actually, it'll be a fun game, and we'll see exactly what they're capable of doing. I hope it's Nola versus Sevy. That would be a great pitching matchup.
It would, yeah.
That'd be awesome. But other than that, that's pretty much the scoop on the Phillies. We're going to move on to our last and final topic, which will be the upcoming NBA draft and what the Sixers should do with it. And we're going to combine that with the Flyers' future because I got a rant on the Flyers because they piss me off so much. But we're going to start off with the NBA draft. What do you think the Sixers will or should do in the upcoming NBA draft?
Well, being a Villanova fan and everything, 2 national titles in 3 years and going for a 3rd national title with the #1 recruiting class in the country. We get it next year. Speaking of, just let me get this sentence about Villanova out of the way. But because I know we're talking about the pro teams here and he's not really a college fan.
Yeah.
But when you win 2 titles, they don't really consider you a dynasty.
No.
When you win 3 titles, like what Villanova's trying to do, that's when they start calling you a dynasty.
Mhm.
When you do it 3 times in 4 years, they call you a dynasty. When New England won, I don't want to talk about that.
Like the Golden State Warriors.
Golden State, what 3 they got?
Yeah, 3 in the last 4 years.
That's
Yeah.
a dynasty. But then with the way they did that with Durant coming over and
Slimy.
everything,
Yeah.
I don't really respect that.
I don't either.
I hate to say use this as an example.
No, you could just
No. I hate to use this one as an example, but the Dallas Cowboys
You could
in
just
the 90s.
you could just flat out say fuck Golden State.
Fuck Golden State, fuck the Cowboys, fuck all of them.
Exactly.
But
you
when
know?
the Cowboys won their 3rd in 4 years,
Yeah.
they started calling them a dynasty. The Steelers of the 70s, the Packers of the 60s, the 80s 49ers. When those teams started winning their 3rd, 4th, and 5th titles,
Yeah.
they started calling them dynasties.
No, it was.
So-
Did you see the Golden State Warriors parade?
Yeah, no, I didn't
The
actually.
GM kind of bashed, like low-key bashed Kevin Durant because they said that they're gonna give the success title to Stephen Curry because he was there in the dark times.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "What about Kevin Durant?"
Yeah.
He's like, "He's got to wait around a little bit more because he wasn't here for the dark times." And then if you saw KD's face, like he was trying like not to like frown, he was like putting on a little fake smile, but you know that bothered him.
Yeah.
Like everything bothers that guy. He makes burner accounts to go after people because he just cares so much.
But I think what it is with Kevin Durant, I'm not defending him or nothing, but
Yeah.
he wrote a book about something about how he always finished second in his life.
Yeah.
He finished second in the 2012 NBA Finals. He was second in the NBA draft. He was second, I think, the second best recruit coming out of high school or something. He what else? He was second the one year in the MVP race. They had something about how he always finished second,
Well,
and he went to Golden State to become number 1.
well, as they always say, if at first you don't succeed, take the easy way out.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what he did. I mean, all right. So my friend obviously on Twitter, because they're all idiots on Twitter. Sorry, but they are. My friend on Twitter compared the LeBron James going to the Miami Heat to what Kevin Durant did. I'm sorry. Kevin Durant joined the best fucking team of all time, and he's the best player on that best fucking team of all time. It is not the same thing as what LeBron James did. LeBron James formed his own team. He formed with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. That was a project, in my opinion, because you're joining 3 All-Stars. Everyone knew that they were going to win eventually, but it started off as a project. You going to the best team of all time, fill in a position that actually they didn't have yet because one of the role players actually left. I forget who that was, but Kevin Durant's obviously better, so it doesn't really matter. It's not the same thing. It's just not. I mean, it's like me. All right, so it's basically the New York Yankees acquiring Stanton this year. They win the championship, and then next year they acquire Trout. It's like
Or Bryce Harper.
Yeah,
because I think he's going to be a free agent next year.
yeah, it's like the same thing. It's like
I can't really respect that.
no.
No, what the Warriors did.
Oh yeah, no one
Yeah.
can like basketball. People like to compare baseball to basketball. You can't compare it. Basketball is self-explanatory. You know exactly who's going to win going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know it. With
Oh,
baseball,
yeah.
you have no fucking clue who's going to win. It's like up in the air every single year. There's a different team that wins. You know, going into next year, I already know fucking Golden State's going to win because their team is full of all-stars. All right? It doesn't matter who
NFL
LeBron-
Live Nation or something put out a tweet, and I thought this was very interesting. They said you compare all 4 sports. All right, the NFL just had a backup quarterback win Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
The MLB has seen teams like the Royals, who hadn't been there in 30 fucking years, the Chicago Cubs, and the Houston Astros, teams that had never won before or never won in fucking decades, some cases centuries, win World Series in recent years. The NHL has a fucking goddamn expansion team in the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
While the NBA, compared to that, has the same exact NBA Finals matchup for the 4th straight year.
Yeah. And it was very boring.
Nobody wants to see that shit.
No, it was awful. The Cleveland Cavaliers stood no shot. And for people to say Boston Celtics would have stood a better shot, you might be right because Cleveland was
Maybe
such
they would have won a game. I mean, does
Yeah.
it really matter? They wouldn't have stood shot in that series.
Cleveland was so garbage, man. And for people to come out and say LeBron actually had a team, whatever. Like, you know you're wrong. Like, LeBron did not have a good enough team to go up against the bench players of the Golden State Warriors. Like, it was just so horrendous. I don't know how Adam Silver allowed that. He's a shitty fucking commissioner. He's worse than what Stern was. It just disgusts me. And that's me going back to the Sixers. You know, they better pull off something miraculous, because if LeBron James does not sign here, if we don't at least get Paul George or something like that, the process won't mean shit, because you're not going to beat these teams. You're not. And, you know, I was for the process, and I still am. You know, I don't think it's exactly over yet. I still think the process.
I just don't like the way Sam Hinkie went about it originally.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I didn't think he was really being professional about it, but
Yeah.
I did like his idea of rebuilding. Because you said it earlier, the rebuild had to happen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
It
you had to.
100% had to happen.
Yeah. Like that, it's a little bit unorthodox how it did happen.
But see, where Sam Hinkie fucked up in
Yeah.
on the NBA's part is he admitted to it
Yeah.
and was really, really open about
Yeah.
it, and the NBA didn't like it, and that's what it was.
No, and I saw someone on our Facebook page earlier. They said something about the Sixers trying to go for a top 5 pick in the NBA draft this year.
I saw that too.
And then somebody said, you know, you can never have too much talent. That is not true at all. That's not true, because guess what? The NBA draft is so hit or miss. It's proven. We got fucking Nerlens Noel, bust. Joel Okafor. Nah, I'm not even going to use the word bust. That's a fucking disrespect to the word bust. That guy fucking sucks.
He was the laziest piece of shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, Joel Okafor is the worst fucking player since Kwame Brown. Like, he's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
So you can't just go and say,
Actually, that's disrespectful.
no, it's not.
to
Kwame
Okafor's-
Brown was a fucking better
Kwame
player.
Brown was much worse than Joel Okafor, dude. That was.
Can we just say they were both bad?
I hated that guy.
Yeah, Kwame Brown was
Oh
bad.
my
bro.
god.
Yeah, I wasn't Kwame Brown on our team that won only like 17 games or something like that. No, we
No.
won only 9 games.
No, he was on the Sixers the year they got Bynum and the whole Andrew Bynum
Oh,
debacle
God,
happened.
fucking buying him.
And after that, they realized they fucked up with Andre Iguodala, and they lost that trade like so fucking bad.
Yeah.
And they realized that, and then they had to blow it up and rebuild.
Yeah.
Because what the fuck else? It had to happen at that point.
No, but for that guy saying that you can never have too much talent, that's wrong. That's wrong. I mean,
Yeah,
yes.
let me say something, as far as the Yankees go.
Yeah.
And I know you may or may not like this as a Yankee fan.
Okay.
But my friend, one of my coworkers is a diehard Yankees fan.
Mhm.
And, George Steinbrenner and all this. I'm going to say this, like, if I'm looking at it the way it is,
Mhm.
he started the whole, buying people and signing people in some cases to stack the team and build the team, and even signing and buying players with big money of players they probably didn't even need.
Right.
He started all that because that's what what did they do in the 90s once they got that core 4 together and got all that together?
Mhm.
They did exactly that, threw a bunch of money at David
Mhm.
Wells, Roger Clemens and all them, Paul O'Neill, and a couple others if I'm not mistaken. And they won, 4 or 5 World Series championships in a 5-year period?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. George Steinbrenner started that.
No.
And he started, the thought process of doing that. Now, all teams do it. You look in, not even just in the MLB. The MLB teams do it around the league, but you look in the NBA, they're doing it. Hockey, they've tried to do it for years as long as the salary cap will enable them to. NFL, you see it happening sometimes, but, much more so teams that don't really have that much of a salary cap.
All right. Well, this is my point. What I'm trying to make with the New York Yankees. All right.
Okay.
All right. So the Yankees, they spend money all the time. Everyone knows they're buyers. My point is this. So what? There's no salary cap in baseball. You have as much money as you want to spend. Go spend
And
the
my
money.
coworker was saying, now they all do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with the salary cap in the NBA, the thing that sticks out to me when it comes to the salary cap in the NBA, opposed to no salary cap in baseball, where any team could spend any fucking money they want, the salary cap in the NBA, you can take on all these max player contracts just to fit the salary cap. It doesn't matter what kind of talent you bring in as long as it stays under the salary cap. Golden State can still do that because I believe they raised the salary cap to 153 per year. I'm not sure.
Yep. I think it's something like that. It's 150-ish
Yeah.
So
And
I'm not sure exactly what it is.
And they have only 9 fucking players on the roster, 9 to 11 players on the roster. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you can afford that, so it's a little different. But as it comes to, like, let's just compare the Yankees to the Phillies, okay? So, the Philadelphia Phillies, if you wanted to get a little bit better, why don't you take the money that you've brought in from the city and try to make your team better? You know, you could get Bryce Harper. You could get a Manny Machado. You can get all these talented players on this team. Why just go through a rebuild process just to say that you did it the right
Well,
way?
I think the Phillies are in the position to where this is year 4 of the rebuilds.
Yeah.
And I think they're in the position to take the next step.
Yeah.
I think ride it out with Franco and see what he's got.
Yeah.
Because you got to see what he has with no pressure on him to perform.
Yeah.
And in the offseason, put him on the trade block.
Yeah.
He probably will have trade value to him. Trade him, get something. Throw fucking $200 million at fucking Manny Machado, and you got all of a sudden you got Machado, Hoskins, Santana.
You're building a
fucking
formation.
Alfaro.
You're building a formation to go get Michael. You're building a formation to go get Trout.
I mean, all of a sudden, that's a really good fucking lineup. I saw Manny Machado in Baltimore a month ago when the Phillies played the Orioles.
He's dynamic.
That motherfucker was batting 340 or some crazy shit.
Yeah.
This was when Herrera was batting like a couple percentages above him.
Yeah, and they're going to trade him because they suck.
But I couldn't figure out why the Orioles are that fucking bad.
The Orioles are that bad.
I mean, they have a really good lineup. I was like, damn.
No, they have a good lineup, but they can't put wins together because they can't close games out, and that's a problem with their bullpen's terrible.
Well, their starting pitching staff ain't that good either.
Yeah. No, like
Yeah.
yesterday, for example, they lost 2-0 to the Marlins at home.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they can't put together hits.
The fuck?
Yeah, I mean,
And Chris Davis, I mean,
he sucks.
your boy shared something with about him the other day.
Chris Davis.
Yeah, and I was like, well, and he was struggling when I went down there to see the Phillies.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, how's he's fallen from grace.
Chris Davis is awful. Like, he's not even a professional.
I like
player.
Adam Jones though.
Adam
on the
Jones
team.
is awesome. He's loyal too.
And
He's been there for years.
Yeah, I know. And Mark
Yeah.
Trumbo.
Yeah.
I like those guys. I was like, yeah, their lineup's pretty loaded.
Yeah.
The fuck's going on?
Now let me ask you a question, Tom. What do you think the Phillies should do? Because I know you're a diehard Phillies fan. We were talking about this the other week. What do you think they should do to get themselves established with some of the top marquee teams in the league, like the New York Yankees, the Washington Nationals,
The Boston Red Sox.
Oh, it ain't fucking calculus. Spend money.
Yep.
You're a
Yeah.
top 5 market. You got to spend money. Now, I don't think they're going to get Machado because Machado is going to go to the Yankees because when you have friends who play somewhere and you don't really care about the money, that's where I think Machado is going to end up. I hate to say it, but I think that's where Machado goes. But I'm not a Harper guy. He can.
I'm not either.
I'm passing
honestly.
on him. I mean, but there's other guys.
I just don't like his demeanor and his attitude
Yeah.
either. I don't think that'd be a good fit here.
No, I think he's a crumb. I don't think he's a winner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he's a me guy. I think he's selfish. I think he's everything wrong.
Yeah,
with
and honestly, I wouldn't want that on the Phillies because like we go back with
No.
it with Harper and everything, and and to see him play at Citizens Bank Park would probably be something else. But I just don't like his attitude. I don't think I'd like that on my team.
You can't really think like that though. That's
Yeah, but he can. That's a guy that can destroy your
yeah,
clubhouse.
but
though.
that's what separates the winning mentality from the losing mentality.
Yeah,
No
but if he
offense.
has a losing mentality, and that's all he does to me, I mean, he hasn't won shit. There's a reason he got choked out by a guy who's got 2 rings. There's a reason Papelbon choked his ass out. Because he's a punk.
Yeah.
He's a punk. Nobody's got to like it. He's a fucking punk. That's as clear as day. I wouldn't give him $200 million.
Yeah.
Now, somebody's going to go spend $500 fucking million for that guy? Get the fuck out of here. Because I'm all about, like, it ain't my money, so I don't care.
Yeah.
And I'm all about spend as much as you need, not for that guy.
Yeah.
I'd rather back a truckload of prospects up out to the Angels for Trout and give away my whole goddamn farm system and give that guy $700 million than even come close to giving Harper the kind of money he's going to demand when he hits free agency
Yeah.
next year.
Well-
He's going to demand a lot of money.
What would your backup to Trout be if he doesn't come here?
You stay where you're at, and I got to look at the free agents that are out there and stuff. But this year, and I think what people are forgetting is this is a young roster. You
Very young.
You got a vet in Santana, you got a vet in Arrieta, but besides that, it's young. It's a bunch of babies, and not everybody comes up and is Francisco Lindor or Carlos Correa, and like people have been hard on J.P. Crawford, but dude, the guy's a shortstop. So you're gonna play the guy a fucking short. This is where I got major issues with Gabe Kapler. Gabe Kapler wants to reinvent the fucking wheel. right now with this team. First off, Scott Kingery is not an everyday shortstop, and anybody out there that thinks he is needs to stop watching baseball last night
he never
and
was.
the day before. Yeah,
He
he's
never
a second
was.
baseman.
Yeah.
You want to play him in third? Fine. Okay, J.P. Crawford is your shortstop.
Yep.
All right there. The fact that you're going to put Hoskins in a two-hole ever is a fucking joke. Okay, because he's not a two-hole hitter. That's
He's
just
not, no.
I don't know what that comes from. You're shuffling of Nick Williams early on in the year, a guy who actually batted 284 last year, and granted 80 games, but a guy who batted 284, showed some pop. You're juggling to him over your love affair for Aaron Altair.
I always thought Nick Williams should be starting over Altair, and Altair should be on the bench or come up as a bench hitter.
That's what he should
I
be.
always thought so.
Late guy, defensive substitution guy. Like, the Phillies get me mad because I didn't like the hire when they hired him, okay? And I still don't like the hire because the guy wants to put his fingerprints on too many goddamn games. Okay, it's almost like an umpire. We don't want to know you're there. Don't want everybody to let you know you're there, because if we all know you're there, you either you got too big of an ego or you're bad. And the same thing goes for Kapler. The analytics side of things. I get it plays a part in big league baseball, but it doesn't play a part in everything. And when your defensive shifts are the second worst in all of baseball, and the only team that's worse than you was the organization you came from in the LA Dodgers, maybe you need to rethink your defensive shifts and how you go about it. Because, listen, I think Ryan Flaherty was in town with the Braves earlier on in the year, and a defensive shift for Ryan Flaherty. Are we fucking okay? Are we okay? Like, if you want to do it for, like, the Judges of the world and, certain guys, I get it. Like, certain guys that are – or whatever. Like, certain guys – I'm not saying Judges, but, like, certain guys are, like, Deadpool guys. But, like, no. Like, you're not going to – I don't want you doing it for Joey Votto who can hit the ball to all fields. Like, they just have it, like, in their head that, like, these numbers are all they can go by. And I've seen so many dead double play balls that should have been dead double play balls turn into base hits.
Yeah.
Or whatever the case may be. It's just, oh, man, the Phillies and I'm not a gay – I thought I was going to grow – Gabe Kapler was going to grow on me, but then I see some of the things that he continues to do. And that's – listen, I would love to pass it off as him being young in the role, but, like, we're what, 2.5 months into the baseball season now?
Yeah.
I can't keep seeing some of the same things that you're not learning from. Hoskins, Crawford not playing shortstop. He started to pick up on the Williams thing a little bit. You know what I mean?
He was really bad with that early on.
But I don't know. You win all some games, and I'll like him again.
But I always thought they should have hired.
I'll like him again.
I always thought they should have hired that Wathan dude from AAA and AA, because he worked his way up through the system. Every single prospect that ever played for that dude loved playing for the dude.
Yeah.
They all went up to the front office and endorsed him at the end of the year, wanting him to be the manager. I always thought they should have made him the manager.
I think the guy's a fucking weirdo.
He
not
won
not Wathman, Kapler.
Yeah,
I think he's a creep.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that. I don't think the way he goes about things translates to anybody. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't translate to young guys to me. You're like, he's too fucking wordy. And what did he say? What did he say like a month ago? Oh my God. Did he say bat? Did he say? He talked about something batting, and it's like a word I know. And he tried to like, he said something, but he tried to like act like he's a fucking professor in the wording he used.
Probably.
And it was like, it was something ridiculous. And it's like, dude, I coach baseball. I do hitting lessons. Okay, I've never heard that word used ever. You know what I mean? And what he used it for, and I was like, I just think the guy is a little too much right now.
Yeah.
It's like it reminds me of Chip Kelly with the sports science and the smoothies and the bullshit like that.
Did you see that tweet that I don't know if I sent it to you, where this lady was a secretary for 30 years?
Oh yeah, that's on ESPN.
Yeah,
I
for
saw
30.
that.
I know. I made all the national stories. I was shocked that it got out like that.
Yeah, Chip.
Chip got just fired her like
yeah,
that.
Canned her after 3 decades with the
fucking
team.
30 years with the team.
Yeah, thanks.
Fucking asshole.
Well, he ruined everything at fucking Crumb.
Yeah.
But everything worked out.
Hey, it worked out.
But the thing, like, okay, you're not the Yankees, dude. You're not the 08, 09, 2010 Phillies. You can't sit around and wait for a 3-run homer. Okay, when you're talking, and especially when you're a young offensive baseball team and you got guys struggling, right? That's when you got to hit and run a little bit. Yep. Okay? You got to steal some bags. You got to move some runners. You got to play some little ball that maybe I fucking lost something. But then the Royals win a World Series 3 years ago on just putting balls in play.
Yep.
Just like limiting their strikeouts, making teams work for every out. Like, this is the whole game of baseball. Whole game of baseball driving me insane right now. It's going around the whole leg. strikeouts all-time rate. Like that's not okay.
No.
That's not okay.
The pitching got better though. I mean,
But that Royals team,
But
that was one of the best base running teams I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, that's
The way they ran the bases was just incredible.
They
I've
did.
never seen anything
took
like it.
first to third like
No, like
nobody's
fucking-
business.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's business.
no, like fucking Nola. Like he came out of nowhere. Last year I thought he was a 2 pitcher, and now he's a fucking ace. Like I mean, these pitchers are so dynamic nowadays. You know, these hitters you can't really blame them for striking out because the pitchers are just on
You
their
can
A game.
because of the thought process with a lot of them.
Yeah.
And it was a Donaldson thought process that was put in guys' heads, even though nobody realizes Donaldson's MVP season, his average height of the ball on home runs was 8 to 11 feet.
Yeah.
So somebody tell me how that's a fucking launch angle. And then he
No.
goes on MLB Network and wants to recreate the whole game of hitting. And it's like, dude, you got guys like Cabrera, you got guys like Chipper Jones. You know, the list goes on the greats. Like Miguel said the other night, he's like, I don't even know what a launch angle is. You know, he's like, I'm knobbed to the baseball, palm up on contact through. And he's like, I finish high, and that creates my launch. But he's like, I want to get on top of the ball. And I think that's part of the reason why you see so many strikeouts and all around the minor leagues, or guys are buying into trying to launch. You know what I mean? And hit balls out. And that's, you know, you got to have a different approach when you have 2 strikes. Like first, second strike, fine. But when you got a 2-strike approach, your approach has to change.
No, it's like Jose Bautista. I didn't even know that Blue Jays traded him. Like I didn't even know they demoted him.
He really fell
He
off
really
big
fell
time.
off.
I couldn't believe that.
That was a guy on PEDs. I'm sorry. Like that guy definitely
been.
took something.
Well, they also freaking, what else did they do up there? The whole time in Toronto, they were stealing signs.
Yep.
You know, they were doing a lot of that stuff.
yeah.
You know, and when they were
Yeah.
mashing too, like when nobody, like it was funny, like their numbers at home were different than they were on the road.
Oh yeah.
And it was pretty dramatic, and you're like, whoa, Jesus, is there that much into it? I guess, yeah, you know, I guess when it's 98, like everybody hits 98
Yeah.
if you know it's coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you got a guy in your fucking bullpen, like, I got a one, and a guy can just, and these power guys can just gear up for something, like, you know, and look to drive it. I mean, I guess there is something to it.
Yeah.
You know,
Big time.
knowing it's coming, but yeah, he did fall off big time, guys. That whole team did, really.
Yeah.
Oh,
they
You
did.
look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 years ago, they were, you know,
In the LCS.
yeah,
Yeah.
and a scary team. You didn't want to see them.
With Texas, and Texas is horrible. Toronto's horrible.
They've all fell. They both of them have fallen off
Yeah.
big time.
Baltimore,
since then.
too.
Yeah.
And we were
Bad.
just talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
Baltimore, how bad they've fallen off, and that's like, wow.
That says something maybe Machado to me, too. Like,
Yeah.
I look deeper into these things. Like, if you're that good of a baseball player, you should raise the level of your baseball team.
Well-
Like, Trouty, when healthy, always does it to the Angels. They're always better than they really are.
Yeah.
Makes sense? And it might not be like, you know, at the end of the year, Rob, it might be a difference from 70 to 78 wins, but
Yeah.
they're always, or 68 to 78, but they're always like a little bit better than they are,
Oh, yeah.
even when they do stink.
Yeah.
Just because he like, to me, he's a guy that gets it, you know?
He does, yeah.
Like even Cabrera in Detroit, like they have nobody there, and they're just still hanging around somehow.
Yeah.
Well, Miguel Cabrera's out for the year now because he just tore his bicep. But
He's old though now.
yeah, I
Did he
mean,
just tear his bicep?
yeah,
Yeah.
That's a shame.
right bicep. Yeah, he swung the bat. and
That's
he just,
another
like,
dude that
yeah.
could have made my all-time Phillies kill the Phillies list.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
killed everybody.
But what was he? Third base?
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
ain't putting him over Chipper
When
Jones.
he was with the Marlins, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I ain't
yeah.
putting him over Chipper Jones.
Forget that.
there.
Isn't
Fuck
it funny?
that.
You forget that he was even there.
Yeah.
Like he's been with Detroit forever. It's like
Yeah.
Well, you look back at that Marlins team, and they're the one that beat the Yankees, and that was an all-time team. Like Josh Beckett, you had Mike Lowell, you had Miguel Cabrera, you had Pudge, you had all these players, and you just look back at it, and you're like, wow, how did they get all these players?
Yeah.
And I think that's what the Phillies are trying to do. They're
Well,
trying to get all
actually,
these players on
if
their
you
own.
look at the 2008 Rays,
Yeah.
you say the same thing.
Yeah.
They had Evan Longoria, Deanna Navarro, B.J. Upton.
Yeah.
They had what's it? The Japanese dude's name, Ishikawa or whatever,
Yeah.
or whatever. They had it, and like, what the fuck? They had some fucking young talent on that team that they all fucking assembled, and they had James Shields and Scott Kazmir, and that what the fuck was there was the three of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were fucking like,
No,
wow.
No, and I think that's what the Phillies are trying
And
to
it's
do.
shocking how they've fallen off since then.
Because but the Phillies, they see their minor league, like their minor league farm, and they see that they're progressing.
They're waiting
a
for
lot.
them guys to come up.
But they're waiting too long. They need to start spending now, and then add them when they're ready to come up, and then they'll turn into a dynamic team. That's the problem. That's what the problem is with the Phillies franchise right now. They're just thinking ass backwards. They're thinking of things that other people would put into play right now, and I don't know what they're doing. I don't.
Because
know
right
what
now I look at Cornelius Randolph in Double-A, who I saw a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago with the Trenton Thunder, He's a year away at least from making his MLB debut.
How's Mickey doing?
Mickey Moniak and Adam Hainsley, they're a couple years away from their MLB debuts, and they're in Single A.
Yeah.
And then the dude they just took in the MLB draft at Wichita State, I got to see where he's going to start at. I don't know if he's going to start in the Summer League. I don't know if he's going to start at Williamsport. I don't know if he's even going to start at Lakewood like Hainsley did last year. And better if he starts at Lakewood because then I get to go see him play.
Yeah.
So I get to scout him a little bit. But those guys are a couple years away, and you got to start thinking outside the box, saying, there are other options that we can go spend money at in the MLB, guys that are going to be free agents, guys that are going to be veterans, guys that are going to lead instead of hoping that these young kids come up and develop.
Yeah. No, and it's funny how we started this conversation with the MLB draft and got drifted all the way back to the Phillies because this is how sports like they play out. You go from a salary cap and then you go to a team that doesn't have a sport that doesn't have a salary cap, and then you just try to figure everything out, and then it just leads to one thing.
Yeah.
And we're kind of dragging on with the whole Phillies thing, but I think it had to be talked about because me as a non-Phillies fan trying to put my perspective into what the Phillies should do to get better. Like he said, it's not calculus.
Yeah.
You got to spend money.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know what? Even if you being a Yankees fan,
Yeah.
like I can come on here and talk about the Yankees. Like
yeah,
I
obviously,
see,
yeah.
I see their highlights on TV. We
Yeah.
get the Yes Network where we live, so
Yeah.
they're on TV.
Yeah.
I mean, I can sit here and talk about the Yankees to
Yeah.
give my insight, but
Yeah.
I'm not. That's not my squad. So
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I think the Phillies are on the right track. I just they need you got to spend money. That's
Yeah.
just how I see it. But the last and final topic I want to talk about, because the NFL draft is kind of just self-explanatory. The Sixers, they need to do whatever they can to get the best players in the world to get on their fucking roster.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they're ready to go next year. I saw the updated Vegas odds. They are at 4. They are an underdog. They are 4-1 underdogs to win the NBA championship next year. The only teams ahead of them are the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors. That to me says something. It says something like we're going to get a LeBron James type player or a Paul George type player. We're going to get one of those two, if not both. So I like the Vegas odds, but with that being said, we'll see. I'm not going to hold my breath. But you got to do something. My last and final topic,
the Philadelphia Flyers.
Philadelphia Flyers. And the Philadelphia Flyers piss me off so much.
They do. They piss me off too.
Because I'm such a diehard fan. I've been
Me
waiting
too.
my whole life to see something, and they haven't won a cup in 42 fucking. What is it? 42?
Yeah.
1975.
43 now.
43.
And we now
fucking
and with the
years.
Capitals winning the Stanley Cup this year, the Flyers went from having the 6th longest Stanley Cup drought in the NHL to the 5th longest.
That's almost half a goddamn century.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like, and they still bring Kate Smith into the building. It's like, what are you
That
doing?
doesn't really bother me, but the whole trying to be like the old Broad Street Bullies in the 70s, that's what bothers me.
Yeah.
I mean, if
That's
you've
long
looked
gone.
at the
That's not how the game is anymore.
If you've looked at the Stanley Cup champions in the last 20 fucking years, you would see that skill wins you a fucking title.
Yeah.
It wins you a Stanley Cup.
You can't beat up people anymore. That's not
You
how the
can't.
game is.
I mean, hits are one thing, but the whole fighting and the whole trying to hitting fucking instead of shooting and trying to be the Broad Street Bullies, it's just not going to happen no more.
Like, they have to
Get some guys that can fucking handle the puck.
Thank you.
Get
Like,
some,
what the
yeah,
fuck? Like,
get
can we-
some guys that aren't going to fucking turn the fucking puck over every single fucking time it comes near them.
Dude, the first time
And-
when we drafted Samuel Moran, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not Mr. Hockey, so I don't try to be Mr. Hockey, but
Okay.
I rely I know hockey, you know what I mean? But I'm not like the other 3 sports. I don't put it.
Yeah,
I don't know if I got as much knowledge, but I know the sport enough. But I called my buddy and he was like, "Oh yeah, he's big, he's tough, and he can fight." And I said, "Yo, can he fucking skate?" Because we don't need anybody else who can fight. I want guys who can fly past you. I remember back 3 years ago, every time we played the Canadians, they would just circle around us.
yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, we really can't skate. We got to dump and chase everything and hope to maybe outmuscle you on the boards. Oh, sorry, that's all I had to get out of the Flyers.
Wayne Simmons really can't skate.
He can't handle the fucking puck because he's turning it over, trying to wrap around, doing fucking turnovers and losing the puck every time I'm looking at it.
No, and
honestly, I used to really like Wayne Simmons, and I still got his jersey, but I'm starting to get I'm starting to get ready to move on
Because
from him.
he turns the puck over every fucking
Way
1 in
too
5
much.
chances.
And honestly, I don't miss that Braden Shen. I don't give a fuck what he's doing in St. Louis. And even then, I don't think he's doing that much in St. Louis because he had 25 goals last year in St. Louis.
Yeah.
He used to do the same shit with the Flyers. But that dude always turned the fucking puck over, too. I'm glad he's gone. I'm still glad that motherfucker's gone. I would have cut him if it was up to me.
It was so bad last year, all right? I don't understand how we won 2 games on the road against Pittsburgh. I still will never get it.
No.
They won
Yeah,
2
in
games.
Pittsburgh.
It was
But
two, right?
we've always played well out there, though.
What are you talking about in the playoffs? Yeah.
I don't get
Wasn't
it.
that amazing though? Like,
Yeah.
like that series felt like we won 1 game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't even feel like we won 2. Jeez.
I don't even feel like
But
we
the-
won 1.
But the Flyers historically have always played well in Pittsburgh, but
Yeah.
the Penguins have always played well in Philly.
No, like what it was so disgusting and so embarrassing, all right? I would have rather stayed out in Pittsburgh. Like when they came home, I was like, yeah, we're going to lose. Like what it's like the Penguins played better on the road than they did at home.
Yeah.
And they didn't only play better, we got embarrassed every single fucking game. Every single one. Like the one that me, you, and Scotty went to. What was that? 7-3 or 7-1?
5-1.
5-1. And then the next game was even worse. It was like
5-0.
It was 5-0. Then they win on the road. I don't know how the fuck they did that. Then they came home. They got a 2-goal lead, and then they lose 7-4. Like that's
5.
7, whatever.
Yeah,
Doesn't
well,
even
I know.
matter.
He still lost the fucking game.
Yeah.
So, like, it really matters in the end.
Yeah, it was a touchdown and then a safety to a safety and a field goal.
Yeah.
That's not hockey. That's bullshit. Like you turn it over in your own zone and then Sidney Crosby just snipes it. Like God, I hate watching that.
It's awful.
Yeah, it's bad hockey.
Terrible.
And yeah, honestly, I kept saying that the Penguins were gonna 3-peat. I was wrong about that. I'm glad I was wrong about
Me
that.
too.
But the Penguins didn't have defense, and you need defense to win the Stanley Cup. And you know, I know another a host on here. I think it's Mikey. Yeah, he I actually know him from home. He loves the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I know
he
you're
loves
talking
the
about now,
Penguins,
yeah.
and yeah, he was right. Shout out to him. He was right. They didn't have defense. They didn't have what it took to win the Stanley Cup this year. And Mikey, if you're watching this, you're probably not, but if you're watching this, I hate the Penguins. I'm glad they didn't win. So, there you go.
I'm glad too.
Yeah, me too.
But-
It put a big smile on my
Me
face.
too.
It was awesome.
Same thing when we fucking went out there and they got beaten overtime.
No, he was supporting Marc-Andre Fleury during the playoffs, and I guess I could understand it, but I mean, like, at the same time, it's like
He's got 3 cups.
it's got 3 cups, yeah, and you know, whatever. It's a but that's basically all I gotta do when it comes to the Flyers. That's why all I gotta talk about, because I don't like talking about the Flyers because they just piss me off.
They do.
Our coach Hackstall, whatever you want to
He's a
call
fucking
him.
idiot.
Yeah. Our GM
that-
is an even bigger of a moron.
I'm starting to really not like Ron Hextall.
Yeah.
I'm starting to really not like what he's doing. I'm starting to think he has no idea what he's talking about
Yeah.
personally. You know, personally with Hextall, I think that this fucking idiot, he is because you know he's defending Hackstall and his fucking bullshit,
Yep.
and then he's suggesting that the fans don't know what they're talking about.
Always good at the fans.
Like, get the fuck out of here and
Yeah.
get the fuck out of here if you don't like it. The defense continues to be a problem. He's keeping fucking McDonald out on the ice, Gudis out on the ice. Fucking, what's that other bum's name? Brandon Manning out on the ice. These motherfuckers weren't even good in the prime of their careers. I remember Andrew McDonald on the Islanders. He wasn't even that good. Like, what the fuck? He wasn't even good in the prime of his career, and yet they fucking keep trotting him out like he's something special. Now all 3 of them guys are Manning and fucking McDonald are all fucking ready to retire.
Listen.
They were never good.
Hextall, you got to understand one thing, buddy. We are authentic fucking Philadelphia fans. We are the best fans out there, and we will come blow your shit up if you talk about us. So stop doing it, because just do your job, buddy. Make this team better. Get skaters like Tom said. Make us a faster team. Get us a fucking goalie that can stop the puck, and everything will be A-okay.
I always liked that Simone Gagne, though, because
I love Simone
he was
Gagne.
so fast and he was so good at handling
Yeah.
a puck. That's why I said he was one of the he was my favorite player that the Flyers have ever had.
Big time. But, yeah, we're ready to pretty much wrap this up. This was a
All
great
right.
show. Thank you, Tom, for everything.
Yeah.
And we will be back next Saturday at 1 o'clock on the dot this time. And we'll be here to talk some
You blame
epic
me for the 1:15
No,
start.
we'll be
but
back here to talk some epic shit with you guys
We
next
will.
week. So hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we're out of
All
here.
right.
Peace.
Peace.